So hello people, what's up? It's your gal Nuclear Joestar here, and I am back for another video. Today is going to be a bit of a commentary while running through an entire game. So today we're going to be discussing Gnosticism here. This is going to be great because I promised that I would make Gnostic content inspired from Morgue, because Morgue is a pretty cool guy who also does this kind of content. And so that being said, before we start this video today, I'd like to tell my audience to watch out for people who've been impersonating me.
Our enemy.
There's a bunch of people who do not like my opinions and my beliefs, so they have chosen to smear campaign against me, make fake accounts of me, and fabricate stuff, including use my voice and play HT and AI illegally. I encourage people to mass report these impersonators while we continue making content that is actually good and worthwhile. So today we're going to be discussing the beginning of Gnosticism, which is the main deity of their pantheon, known as Abraxas. In other words, Abraxas.
Yeah, reeks of solid.
Embrace the light.
And Abraxas is, which is far more common in the sources, in the variant form Abraxas, which the word of meaning in the system of the Gnostic abilities, they're being applied to the great Eon or Archon, the princeps of the 365 spheres. And this represents 365 days in a year. In Gnostic Cosmology, the 7 letters spelling its name represent each of the 7 classic planets: the Sun itself, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The word is found in Gnostic texts such as the Holy Book of the Great Invisible Spirit, and also appears in the Greek magical papyri. It was engraved on certain antique gemstones, called in the account the Abraxas stones, which are used as amulets or charms. As the initial spelling on the stones, it probably originates in confusion between the Greek letters sigma and z in Latin translation, and the word may be related to abracadabra through other explanations. There are similarities and differences between such figures in reports about this mythological being that they believe in larger Greco-Roman magical traditions, modern magical and esoteric writings, opinions found on Abraxas, who in recent centuries has been claimed to be both an Egyptian god and a supreme being. The Swiss psychologist Carl Jung wrote in short Gnostic books called, in 1916, called the 7 Sermons of the Dead, which called Abraxas a god higher than the Christian god and the devil that combines all opposites into one being.
I only smell menthol. That's because I haven't eaten in a while. There's a storm coming. You can feel it when you breathe in the air.
And it has been said that this creature also roams within the realm of the Pleroma in Gnostic mythology, and the Abraxas being, as he's depicted of, has the head of a rooster, the body of a angel, and the legs of that which are replaced with that of the upper parts of a dragon. And he wields a shield and a whip.
It reeks of menthol round here. There he is. Get him, kill him.
And also, as we discuss these mythical figures, he also appears in Cosmology, and also known as Gaius Julius Hyginus, gives Abraxas the name of horses of the sun god mentioned by Homerus. The passage is miserably corrupt, but it may not be accidental that the first 3 syllables make Abraxas. And there's not much about this source, and this name mostly origins from Greek mythology, which translates into abracadabra, which is a word that they use to describe the 365 spheres of the heavens that exist. And Carl Jung's 7 Sermons of the Dead. Abraxas is an important figure in 7 Sermons, a representation of the driving force of individualization, synthesis, maturity, and oneness, referred to the figures for the driving forces of differentiation, the consciousness of all opposites. Also, he's known as Helios, the sun god. And here's what Carl Jung has to say about Abraxas. There is a God about whom you know nothing, because men have forgotten him. We call him by his name Abraxas. He is definite than God or devil. Abraxas is an activity, nothing can resist him but the unreal. Abraxas stands above the sun god and above the devil. If the Pleroma were capable of having a being Abraxas, this would be its manifestation. That which is spoken by the sun god is life. That which is spoken by the devil is death. Abraxas speaketh that hallowed and accursed word, which is life and death at the same time. Abraxas begetteth truth and lying, good and evil, light and darkness, in the same word and in the same act. Wherefore, Abraxas terrible. And he was also referenced in Aleister Crowley's Gnostic Mass of the Escalatia Gnostica Catholica. I'm not very good in Latin. I only know a few words, so please forgive my terrible Latin speak and grammar here. And Crowley's Gnostic Mass contains references to the author's modern religion of Thelema. This Mass was taken from another book, account of the Fibonite Mass, from which Crowley borrowed literally in writing this rite, and it also attempted to characterize Gnostic beings as it also talks about how they would ban Gnostic teachings in the old days because they were terrified of liberation that could set humanity free. And he also references that its origin is from Greek mythology, similar to that of the cosmic egg in Greek mythology, which is chaos and the primordial other beings. And this also applies to your inner thoughts, your subconscious, because you as a human being have free will. Do you not have the ability to be both either good or an evil person? So therefore, the Pleroma, where the mind and the subconscious meet, you essentially have the power to either be good or evil. You have free will, the choice is yours. Now, I myself have been a Gnostic since I started watching Morgues content when I was around 14, 15 years old, and ever since then, a lot of the bad hindrances that used to happen to me would just seemingly vanish because I chose to not let many things bother me as much, considering the fact that everyone is in on this spiritual experience together. But if you liked my input of talking about Gnostic mythology. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below.
So what?
And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I will be sharing more videos in the description where you can also find out more for yourself, and a special shout out to Morgue as well, by the way, because he's the one who inspired me to do these kinds of content.